Alright, here's the GAN 251M. So first let me just go through the good qualities of this cube. The turning is actually extremely nice and smooth. The feeling is pretty much the exact same as the 2x2 and other GAN puzzles, which you can hear here. And of course it has the honeycomb pattern, which you can kind of see here. Speed is also pretty good. I heard people say that it's a bit uncontrollable, but I think it's pretty good. You can always slow it down with a bit of silk, which is what I've done. And it doesn't react too well with lube, I feel like, but it's still not horrible. The magnets are also pretty much perfect. They offer just enough click for every turn, and they're pretty standard magnets that most 2x2s out there have these days. Corner cutting on this cube is not too great, but it's also not too bad, so it's pretty on par with current 2x2s. Corner cuts there, locks up a bit there, and then reverse locks up a bit there, but then it can do this pretty easily. The GAN 249 was a bit of a mistake in my opinion because 49mm is quite small for 2x2, and I think the trend of 2x2s is going towards sizes of 2x3s, so towards 56mm. So this one is 51mm, which is the same as the Volk M, so I think it's pretty good and it fits in your hands pretty well. Alright, so now onto the bad things. This thing is quite light. It feels kind of cheap. When you turn it, it's actually not too bad. It does feel pretty high quality, but when you throw it around, it does feel really light and really cheap, and I don't think it's gonna be something that people are gonna like too much. Corner cutting is alright, but there is a bit of lockup issues like this when you reverse corner cut. It's kind of like an internal lock thing. It's pretty similar to the lockups of the Wuxia when you reverse corner cut, and it has this extremely bad lockup in the internals, which is extremely bad for solves when you're turning really fast. The GAN 251 doesn't go to this extent, but it still has minor lockups. And it causes some of my solves to be not that fluid when I'm turning extremely fast. I just get like one bad lockup and it's pretty bad. Also, the texture in my opinion is pretty bad. It's quite slippery and I don't think it's as good as any standard cube. I don't know why they would do this on the flagship cube. I heard that black plastic with stickers is better, but still I don't think this texture is really great. Lastly, they tried implementing GS nuts again into this cube, and this time they came with other GS nuts. But in my opinion, this is pretty useless. I would much prefer a screwdriver. It makes it easier to retention, and I feel like no one really switches out the nuts really, and it's just a waste of plastic and springs. Because of that, I never tension this cube, and I never really switch out the springs because I feel like it takes way too much time, and especially 2x2, it's not really convenient. 2x3 I can kind of understand, but 2x2, getting the thing in here and taking it out, it's not too convenient for me. Alright, finally the price. This thing is $30. So in your hands it feels pretty light and kind of cheap, but it's still $30, which is much more expensive than any other 2x2 on the market right now. Simply because of the price, I really can't recommend this cube to many cubers, and I think if you're looking for a light cube like this with smooth turning and nice magnets, the MGC is already out there and it's like less than a third of the price of this, and that one's extremely good as well. If you don't like the MGC, Moe makes a ton of other really nice light 2x2s that are extremely smooth and have pretty good performance compared to this. If you want a bit more of a heavier cube, this is already not a cube for you. The Volk 2 is probably the best cube for that with more solid turning style. In my opinion, this cube does not really have a place in the market. It's not the best and it's extremely expensive at $30. I would only recommend this cube to people who really enjoy the GAN feeling and cannot like accept any other feeling and think this cube will perform pretty well for them. But other than that, I feel like other cubes are better than this one. So this cube is definitely not bad. It's extremely good actually, but I just feel like there's better alternatives out there for much lower prices that people should get instead of this one. So yeah, thanks for watching.